energy. I feel energy. I feel energy.
What's up, guys? We are back with another CrossFit Rife podcast episode. Today we got Joy. I feel like there's only one way you can say your name. It's like a little ring, like a little Joy, you know? So it's the only way you can say it. We did not plan to match. This was just,
No,
it
we
just
did
kind of
not.
happened.
Yeah.
She wanted to rep the Gator Blues today, so that's what we're going with.
That's the story we're sticking with. Yeah.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
It's your first time on a podcast before?
This is actually my second, but
Okay.
this is my first time with Rife, so thank you for having me. Thanks for
Yeah,
asking.
of course. I think you got from what little I know, and I was like, man, I just really want to have you on just because I feel like you do have a crazy good story, and I want to be able to get to know it a little bit more. So I guess first off, we'll just kind of dive into a little bit about just telling us about yourself a little bit. Like, what was the background of Joy before CrossFit? Like, just a little basic stuff. Where are you from? And just anything that you want to share off the bat.
Well, a little bit of background about Joy is that I'm from Denver, Colorado. I grew up in Denver, Colorado, by way of St. Louis, Missouri. That's where I was born. Big Broncos fan. Yeah.
Broncos fan.
But I am a Cardinals fan by birth because my parents are both born and raised in St. Louis, so that was there was no options there. But yeah, I grew up in Denver. Played sports when I was younger, a little bit of basketball. Soccer was my big thing back in those days. And then after high school, college, of course, and then, just life took over, there's not much to tell about, it's just very basic. Spent the last 15 years working for the Navy.
Okay.
And that's what I do now, work for the Navy, go Navy. Shout out to our troops, as always.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for your service.
You.
And how I ended up here was I got transferred from my job in the U.S. Navy from Bangor Naval Base out here.
And where's that at?
It's in Washington State.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, Keyport, Washington is across from Bangor. It's all right there. So, yeah. So, came out here in 2019, right before the pandemic, before all hell broke loose. But before I came out here and I knew I was getting transferred, I was at a gym called KidSap CrossFit and really forged a tight bond with the people out there, very great community. And when I was leaving, I was sweating bullets because I didn't know where I was going to go.
Yeah.
So the owner, Dan Hollingsworth, said, I don't know how close you'll be to Virginia Beach, but a friend of mine owns a gym out there called CrossFit Rife. And he said, well, I told him about you. His name is Jason Fernandez, and look him up. He said, he already knows about you. Go find him. I said, okay. So when I got out here, of course, I had to get settled in and whatnot. And then I did the little, fill out the form.
The little Google search.
Yeah.
Found us.
And so found this. And so the first person that got in contacted me was Cassidy. And he was actually the first person I met the first time I came and viewed the gym. And here we are, almost 7 years later.
I love it. What was your first impression of Cassidy first time you met him?
First impression of Cassidy was he's intense, but he was nice. No,
Yeah.
he was very, very kind. But I was like, okay, yeah.
It is. I love. Obviously, we all love Cassidy.
Yes,
I love
of course.
Cassidy, and I think he does that. He does have that demeanor. Like the first time you meet him, you're like, oh, he's kind of tough.
Yeah.
He's like tatted and the full
Well, I'm
thing
tatted,
or whatever.
so
And
that doesn't bother me.
but then it's just like you get to know him. He's like so nice dude or whatever. Big
Yeah.
softy.
Fun fact: for about 6 months, I personally trained with Cass too.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
So I
didn't know that.
Yeah,
You
so
got the
I got
full
the
effect
full
of it.
effect of Cassidy. So now,
That's cool.
any misconceptions that you have about Cassidy, some of them are probably true, but most of them are not. He's a great coach, and he really made me feel comfortable. And of course,
That's great.
And I got to. After that, it was Jared, and then Jake, and Rob, and a lot of the OGs, and then. Yeah. When I came back after my long absence, got to know you. So
It's been a good time. So you started CrossFit back in Washington, right?
2016.
What was the like process leading up to that? Like why did you, I guess first and foremost, like why did you want to start getting into CrossFit, or did you even know that you were getting into CrossFit, or kind of what did that look like for you?
So what it was back then, I was just like anybody else, just going to the gym, trying to get healthy, trying to get ripped or whatever.
Yeah.
These misconceptions that about health and all that. So I wasn't doing CrossFit. I was doing the conventional workouts at the YMCA.
Okay.
And I was doing a program called RIPT, which stands for, I forgot. It's high intensity.
Ripped, yeah?
It was an acronym for something.
Okay.
Yeah, but it had a lot to do with high interval workouts and strength training. The instructor, her name was Bethany. She started being my personal trainer. And what I noticed one session is that she started throwing in these movements. And I'm like, I've never seen them before, because we would always be on the machines and whatnot, elliptical, all that. And then she was like, well, do this movement. And it was what I know now as a thruster or a burpee, what I knew.
So she was like, off the rip, we're going to take you to the two worst movements in the world.
And
we're just gonna put them
CrossFit and
together.
inchworms. I was like, what in the hell is she doing? But she's my trainer. I loved her. We were close. And then she tells me, well, I know a gym that called Seven Cities CrossFit. I want you to go there. They're offering a free week. Okay, what is CrossFit? And she tries to explain it to me. I'm like, okay. She said, just go try it.
What did she say? Do you remember? Like,
Yeah,
what did she try to explain it? Do you remember what she
was like,
said?
oh, it's just these workouts that are really, they're kind of hard, but not really. And it's like what we do, but just different. You do it for an hour, they'll coach you through it, and then you do these workouts, and that's it. That's all it's very kind of vague to me, but I said, okay, Bethany. I said, are you setting me up? Are you trying to?
She's like, it's not hard at all, you know.
No,
then you come
it's not hard.
Yeah.
So I went, because it was right around the corner from my house. And then so the coach, he's like right off the rip, bang, like from 0 to 60. I mean, he does the brief, he goes through all that, and then I'm trying to do these movements. I'm like, I can't do this. I was like, no. This is not for me. So after that first workout, I said, nope, that's not it. I'm done. And I told Bethany, don't you send me back there. Don't ask me to do that again. I'm not doing it. And she felt bad at first, but then she was like, can we please try it again? Can we please try it again? About 3 months later, I'm at this gym. Please come. Watch this. Watch me do this. Watch me do that. I'm like, no. And I just fought her on it. And then, especially when I saw her do her first CrossFit competition, I'm like, that's what you want me to do? Fuck no.
Yeah.
Because I'm just used to machines,
Yeah.
elliptical, treadmill. It's bad enough she had me on this machine called Jacob's Ladder. I don't know if you've ever seen Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This guy?
Yeah. It's like, no. So I caved after a while. Fast forward, I caved. And I did a class with her. All right, she said, we'll modify it. We'll make the movements more comfortable for you, because I was not in any sort of shape. Let me just put that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there.
Right.
So I went, did it. I said, okay, I'll try it again. Went there, tried it again, and I kept going. Pretty soon a week went by. Month went by, met the owner of that gym, and he was like, I want you to keep coming. I want you to keep coming. He said, I know you can do this.
Yeah.
Keep coming.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, I'll keep coming. 2016, 2026, I'm still here off and on. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been consistent. I'm not going to say that when we can get into that, but yeah, I've never given it up, so here I am.
I love it. Was there ever a point throughout, like, especially those like beginning stages of doing CrossFit, that you were like, I can't do this? it's like, obviously it's like, you have a lot of people who, like your coaches at the beginning stages and like the owner of that gym, and they're all believing in you, but you're like still having these thoughts of like, I can't do this, or I don't want to do this, or whatever. Do you have like a vivid memory of like a moment one day maybe that you were just like, all right, I can do this. This is something that I want to do and that I can actually do?
Well, I think let me fast forward to this moment. It was the very first competition that I ever did was my first throwdown. And the first workout I ever did in that competition was Fran. You had 6 minutes to finish it and move on.
Yeah.
I started crying in that workout.
Mid-workout.
I was like, this is competition floor. I'm like, I have complete, utter meltdown.
Yeah.
But Bethany was there. Sal was there. They was like, we got you. You know we got you. You know you worked too hard for this. And I'm like, okay, I'll keep going. But yeah, that even in those moments, in that kind of hard moment, it was like, I can't give this up. I just can't. Something in me was like, no, you can't do this. You got to do something.
Yeah.
It was like your health is on the line. What are you going to do? And too many people, and they've invested too much time in me and faith in me. And I felt at that point I was letting them down, even with me crying, because Fran is soul crushing. I still hate that workout. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think everybody, I mean, that's like the OG of OG workouts, And it's funny because it's like, when people first start off there in CrossFit, they're like 6 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, like whatever the lead times are for Fran. They're like, that's nothing. That's not a workout. That's just a couple. That's a walk down the street or something. That you actually get into it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is awful.
Yeah.
But that's sweet, and I love I love your statement of just like, it's like this, like you had to make a decision. It's like, it's for my health, And so what, I guess, was there a moment for that as well, that you were just like, man, like this is something that I've got to change? And like, what do you, like, it may have been one specific moment, it could have been like several moments put together. But what did that look like? And B, like, was it really, like, what was it hard for you to take that first initial step into like making a change for your health?
Well, my backstory with my health is I've battled with food addiction for a long time. Some people don't think that's a real thing, but it is.
It is. Yeah.
It's just like any other vice, drugs, alcohol, whatever. But food was my drug of choice. Yeah. So after many times yo-yo dieting and all that kind of stuff, and I'm getting older, and I'm starting to think, I'm getting to that age where I lost my father when he was 52. I'm getting close to 50.
Yeah.
I'm going up and down in weight. I'm getting over 300 pounds, dropping under 200 pounds, going back up to 300 pounds. It was like, something has got to give. And I'm trying my best to do everything I can the conventional way.
Right.
But it was like, how do I balance this out? Not only the diet part, we'll get to that, but the physical activity, I just can't sit here. I know that I can't do this on my own. I'm not good enough to do gym workouts by myself. Yeah. That's what the appeal with CrossFit is.
Right.
You have a structure, you have a community, you have my coaches cared, and they really, I think, to me, it felt like it was their personal challenge to them to take me and say, we're going to get you to where you need to be.
That's so good.
They took that on personally.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're going to change your mindset, because that's where it starts first.
100%.
We're going to get you there. And so, but they can only do so much. I had to meet them halfway.
Right.
And like I said, I didn't want to let them down. They were doing everything they can to help me and genuinely care. And I think that's something that I didn't get you know, on my own. I wasn't caring enough, but if I can have somebody who can just give me that nudge, say, I believe in you, but you got to meet me halfway.
Yeah.
I can do it. And that's what the appeal of CrossFit was, that community, that forging that. So that's why I kept going. So at that point, you know, no matter what, I just kept trying. I was just going to keep trying, just keep coming back. Because if there's one thing I know that I've learned, and even here at Rife, that door was always open.
Yeah.
Even when I took long absences, that door was always open. That constant, come back, we got you. So that's what I kept playing in my mind. So that's why I just keep trying. I kept trying, and I wouldn't give it up. You know, I wouldn't give it up. So, you know, making that decision, keep making that decision, kept going, and you know, when I moved on to the next gym, I got another bond with another coach. His name is Mike. And he was really, 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 really invested in me too, because he was the one that saw me over there crying. He was like, okay, I got this. And he approached me. He said, I want to train you. I want to train you. We need to work one-on-one. He said, are you up for it? I said, okay, all right. And we did it for 18 months before I had to move. And that was probably the saddest day of my life, though, letting him go. Because I didn't want to leave, but the life, the job, and thank God for Dan hooking me up with Fern, because I didn't know what I was going to do, but yeah.
Yeah, man, that's so good, and thanks for sharing that. I know that it takes a lot, and just kind of humble yourself a little bit and be able to share those thoughts, so I appreciate that. But I guess like so obviously it's super, super hard. I mean, that's like, you're losing a very close friend, but also somebody who's just like poured so much, not just time and coaching, but just like genuine care. And I think that's something that I personally have seen throughout the CrossFit space. It's like I've had those coaches too. Like I've had those friends or people that I've come into contact with through CrossFit, and it's such a genuine care that it's not like, we need to get more healthy or whatever, and then like, this is how you're going to do it, and then just give you some random workout plan. It's like they're there day to day, step by step, like trying to see it through with you, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I guess as hard as that was to have to leave, whenever you came to Rife, how was it received, like you walking into these doors? Because obviously it's, anytime you go somewhere new, it's going to be nerve-wracking, even though you had already been doing CrossFit. So I know you had shared a little bit about like Cassidy being like the first person that you interacted with or whatever. I've obviously gotten to know you over the last couple of years, but it's like, since you have been here since 2019, is that right? Since 2019, what has it been like with the coaching staff here, or maybe even just the community as well? Like, do you have any like kind of specific moments that just kind of pop into your brain about like, if you felt welcome, which hopefully you have, or not, or whatever? It's just whether it be with Fern or Cassidy or Jared or Jake or anybody. You have any of those moments?
Well, the fact that, you know, like I said, when I came here, I still remember that day.
Yeah.
You know, when I got the text from Cassidy, you know, hey, you know, got your email and stuff. We want you to come by. We heard about you already, which again, because Dan and Fern, they worked on seminar staff together, I believe, and they became friends. And so the fact that Fern said, hey, send her my way, you know, we got her, you know, tell her that we got her whenever she's ready. And so that was already comforting. You know, I was like, okay, if Dan knows them, they must be good. Still nervous, you know, because still don't know what to expect. But right away, I felt, you know, when I saw the classes, Cassidy was coaching that day. I was like, okay, I see some familiarity, you know, with that. And the real bonus was that Justin Hemphill was out here on his shore duty. He was out here. He's like, yeah, come to Rife. You'll love it here. It's as close to Kitsap CrossFit as you're going to get. And I was like, whew, thank you. But
and who is Justin?
Justin Hemphill,
How'd you know him?
He was at Kitsap CrossFit with me. And then I remember he had to transfer out here for 3 years for a tour of duty.
Yeah.
And him and his wife Priscilla, and he was here. So when I said I was coming to Virginia, he reached out to me and said, yeah, he co-signed what Dan was saying about coming to Rife. I was like, okay, that's comforting. Still nervous, but because I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
But when I walked through the door, met Cassidy, and Fern happened to be here that day, and he said, oh yeah, you're Joy. He said, we've been waiting on you. Yeah, Dan told us that you were coming, and we told him we'd take care of you. And what can I say? He gave me the tour of the gym, and he's like, so what Cassidy, what day you want to come in and start working out? I was like, really? We just go in like that? He was like, yeah.
What else is there?
What else is there to do? We've already did the introduction.
Thing, just getting right to it, you know.
He said, we've already introduced ourselves, so
yeah.
When you coming? I said, Thursday. Okay, I'll see you Thursday, 4:00. And so that was the first workout that I did. He was coaching that day, and after that, the next class, I signed up, and Jake was coaching. And somehow my name got around already. Oh yeah, you're Joy. We heard about you. That was Jake. I was like, what? You know, I was like, who does this? No, but who really does that? Who really just makes you feel that kind of welcome, you know, like that? And that's how I felt when I got here. And like I said, from Jake, Jared, Rob was still coaching, Andy at the time. Yeah, those are the OG coaches that I met. And then it just blossomed from there. And like I said, Jess, and one thing that I want to say, when the pandemic hit and I got sick, they reached out to me and made sure that I was okay, because I was sick for like 2 months. Yeah. And I've never had anybody do that. I mean, just genuine care for me, my family, you know. Yeah, so.
You can't replicate it.
Nope, cannot. But it was good. It was good. And I've always felt strongly about all the people that I've met, you know, Paige and Jess, Rob's wife, and just all the people that I've met over the years, Nellie, CJ, Ron, just those OGs that are still here, and they're still here for a reason. But I get it. Yeah. I get it, because that's why I'm still here. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. I kind of want to shift gears a little bit.
Sure.
So you were talking, whenever you're talking about like you're starting off into your health journey, and then you kind of mentioned a few times about like health misconceptions and stuff. Mm-hmm. What did you mean by that?
Health misconceptions, like the one thing that I've always been a stickler on is that body mass index. I hate that. Mm-hmm. I've always hated, you know, you got to be this, for your height and your weight, you got to look like this. It's like, I'm never going to look like that. I'm never going to be that way. That was one of them. Another health misconception is that people seem to think that food addiction isn't real. Yeah. Sure it is. Look around you. What's the one thing you're going to see constantly above anything else? Food. It's everywhere. Yeah. So that's another health misconception. People can get just as addicted to food just like any other thing. That was another health misconception that I was getting pissed off about. And then one of the other health misconceptions that I had is about weight loss surgery. A lot of people think that's cheating. Yeah. No, it's not. I had it. It's an aid, but that doesn't mean that you still don't have to work hard.
No, yeah, for sure.
You still got to work hard with it. So those are a lot of health misconceptions that I've had to work through for me. And I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for me. If I didn't make any of those decisions to have weight loss surgery, to keep coming to CrossFit, and to keep, you know, dealing with my food addiction, I would probably be dead. Simple as that. Yeah. I was creeping up to 400 pounds. I'd never weighed that much in my life. Yeah. And that was scary to me. My heart, you know, might have started failing. Congestive heart failure runs in my family. High blood pressure runs in my family. Like I said, I lost my dad at 52. I'm 51. You know, who knows where I would be had I not made those decisions to work through those and say, you know what, I'm tired of looking at what other people are saying. Let me talk to my doctor. Let me form a plan for me, for joy. Because if I don't, I'm not here. I'm not. And the fact that I still had this place to help me navigate through that and still have physical activity to keep going. With the mental aspect of it, the physical aspect of it, being able to do more than what I've ever been able to do. Because I'll say this, Caleb. If it wasn't for CrossFit, I wouldn't be willing to try half the shit I've been able to do.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, for sure.
I did a hike once in Colorado called the Manitou Springs Incline. Now, this is way before I did surgery and anything like that. And it's an incline that goes 2,000 feet in elevation up. And if you know anything about Colorado, it's high elevation as it is. But I'm going higher elevation. Yeah. I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for my work here. And this is after I've been here. Okay? I did a rowing competition, 24 hours. I trained for that here. I've done all kind of stuff, you know? If anything else, I would say that I've had more confidence built from here doing CrossFit than to be able to say, you know what, if I can do this, I can do other stuff. I can challenge myself. I can work on my mentality to try other stuff and not be afraid. And even if I don't do it, you know, like everybody else, who cares about anybody else? I'm out there doing it.
Yeah.
I would have never done it. So, and I know I'm kind of crisscrossing things here, but that's the other health misconception. You know, you don't have to be in the best shape of your life just to try. At least it's a springboard to get you going.
Yeah.
And who knows, you know? I don't know. It's for me, the confidence built and the mental capacity that I've learned to dealing with those workouts day in and day out has helped me in such tremendous ways that I call this place my happy place. This is my therapy.
Yeah.
This is what has helped me, take charge of my health and want to do better and want to have a better quality of life and want to just keep going. You know, just keep going. I don't know what else to say about it.
No, it's fantastic. With health and stuff, it's like people see so much of and really harp so much on like the aesthetics of health and what that brings. And like, is there a time and a place for that? Yeah, sure. But it's also too, it's like what you're talking about is like between your ears, like the confidence that you've been able to build because you have voluntarily put yourself in hard situations. And I think that's something that speaks a lot to just you as a person too, and something that I feel like honestly a lot of our society is lacking because everything is built around just like consumerism and just like how can I make my life as comfortable as possible? Right? And it's like you walk into the doors and whatever your original PT told you about, oh, CrossFit's not gonna be hard. Like she knows she just told you that to get you in the door, right? But it's like that's the reality of this is like it is hard.
It is.
And I think there's a different level of like you being in a hard situation just because life brought it on, like it just brought it on you versus I chose to do this hard thing, and then the confidence that you get from that because now you're like, yeah, I can go do this thing, or I can do this hike or this row, or whatever else it may be. So I love that thought about just the confidence that it's brought you. What is out of everything that you have been able to do since you started CrossFit? Is there like something that sticks out the most of you're just like, I'm the most proud of this? And maybe it could be correlated with just like, you're just proud of it. Or maybe it's something that's like, I didn't think that I would ever be able to do this thing.
Half the movements that I've been doing in CrossFit. Seriously, though. But I think my latest thing that I'm pretty proud of is double unders. You know, I've been working on it, and now I've kind of gotten it now. I haven't been able to string them together yet. We're getting there, but that's one of those small victories. And just sticking with the workouts, sticking with them, because there's been times where I would come in, I would see the workout, and this at my old gym, and I've done it here a couple times. Sorry. I look at the workout, I'm like, nope, I'm
See
out.
it.
I've cherry picked. I was the worst at that. And I think that's what I'm most proud of is, number one, just trying the workouts no matter what it is. And if I have to scale, so be it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But, and I think just getting stronger every day, just keep coming. I think me just being consistent. I've been in that committed club how many times now?
Every time that I see
last year was, out of 12 months, I made 10.
What's the committed club? Just for people who
For
don't
people
know
who
what
don't
it
know what
is.
the committed club is if you reach 16 classes in a month, that you're in this committed club, and you get into this cool raffle, which I have won once.
It's not rigged. I know y'all think it's rigged.
It's not
I promise
rigged.
it's not rigged.
But that has become my personal challenge for me. I am so, like, I count, like, okay. I look at my attendance record. How many? Okay, if I have to miss this day, then if I come here, okay, I still get my 16. Even when I got into my car accident last year, I was like, okay, I got 14 classes. I know I'm not feeling my best. Let me just get these 2 so I can stay consistent with my committed club. That's for me. That is for me and me only, because like I said, this place brings me so much therapy and, peace and stuff like that, because right now with everything that's going on in the world, if I have to have some place that gives me solace to take my mind off of what's going on just for 1 hour of the day. 1 hour that's for me, that's going to help me with my mind, my spirit, my health, and just keeps me going. I can laugh or something, just take my mind off it. And this is what CrossFit Rife, or any other places. If I was back in Washington State, it would probably be the same. That hour of the day for me is the best hour of my day, seriously. And I'm not saying that to be, cliche.
She's not getting paid right now, is what she's
this
saying.
is the best hour of my day.
Yeah.
Being around this whole community has brought me so much that I can't even begin to explain what it is. But, the laughs, watching all the people make jokes or whatever, and then getting into the workout, because your mind just totally shifts to that. You forget about all the bullshit that's going on in the world, and all you're thinking is, getting stronger. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Really, I'm grateful for this place. I really am, and I'm grateful for what it has brought me. Big victories, small victories, all things in between. And I would tell anybody, if it's not CrossFit, make it something, but make it yours.
For sure.
Make it yours. And that's what I've done with this place. It's mine. I feel like this is all mine. It's all for me. And I'm excited. I'm excited for what the future is going to bring. Different challenges that I want to do. I still want to get some movements out there, that rope climbs, that's one of my goals. Pull-ups maybe someday. I don't think I'll be able to do a handstand pull-up to save my life, but you never know. But yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, it's just such a good word on just like consistency, and everybody jokes around about just like, oh, I just got to do it for the sticker.
No.
And it's like, yeah, you may say that, but we know you're not doing it for a sticker, right? And so that's kudos on you for just being like, for taking ownership of that aspect of your life, and being like, yeah, like life is hectic. Like everybody's got stuff they're dealing with on the outside of this gym, right? And it's just taking that time to be like, yes, I might have all of these things that I can't control going on in my life, but this is the one thing that I am like, I'm taking ownership of this.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're saying, like it's so much more than just like physical health in the sense of just like, once again, just like aesthetics or body composition or whatever it may be, or even simply like what we're just able to do inside of the gym itself. It's like that is at the end of the day, that is the point of CrossFit, is to give ourselves a better quality of life outside of the gym. And that's not always just physical things. It's just like we're saying earlier, like things in between your ears and your mind. And it's like, if we don't take that time to be a little selfish in the aspect of like, I'm committing to this no matter what life is thrown at me, we just have to make that decision to be able to see progress in the rest of our lives. Because if we don't have it, then I mean, you know how it goes. Like, you kind of feel a little lost without it.
Yep.
You know.
Muhammad Ali had a good saying once, that he said, if someone thinks the same way they did at 50 as they did at 20, they've wasted 30 years. Now, put that in this context. If I thought the same way I did 10 years ago if I brought that here, then I just wasted 10 years. I didn't want to waste any more time. I didn't want to waste my thoughts on thinking, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm too fat, I'm too this, I'm whatever. I wanted to change my mindset. And that's the first thing I would say about CrossFit is changing your mindset.
100%.
It's all here first. The rest will come. But if you don't have it in here, and that was just something I just really had to work on, I was not going to get any better. I just wasn't. The rest of I could do everything else. I could lose the weight and stuff like that. But if this wasn't right, nothing was going to work.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. And it's like, those are all like lies in our head, right?
Right.
Like those things that we hear of just like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this, or I can't do this, or that I can't do that. And it's like, right now, whether those things are true or not, it's like those lies that we have. I was actually talking to a buddy about this, and this was more so kind of like in a faith concept, but I think it relates so much to this in the sense of like, those doubts and those thoughts that we have, those lies that we have in our head, are it's such a passive action, in the sense of like, we didn't necessarily do anything to bring those thoughts on. Like, they just kind of pop up.
Right.
But it's like, we have to be on the offensive side of things to be able to tell ourselves different thoughts, right? And it's like you're saying, it's like, if we can change our mindset about things, be like, okay, you're right, I might not be able to do this right now, but it's like, what am I going to do to be able to make sure that I can set myself up to be able to do these things, like you're saying, in a decade from now, or 5 years from now, or whatever that may look like. And that's just such a important quality, I feel like, for people to have, is to like use the voices that we have in our head, whether they might be dark or whatever they may be, but to like bring a positive light into it and be like, yeah, I'm going to change this though.
Yeah.
Like, this is something I can take action on.
Yeah.
So it's a good thought.
Yeah.
So I guess, like, if you had somebody who was listening and they kind of feel in a similar situation to where you have been, and that can be for like a lot of different things, whether it be like, maybe they are dealing with the same like eating stuff that you've dealt with, with addiction in that regard, or maybe it's addiction in other regards, or maybe it's simply just like, when you started CrossFit, you were just like, yeah, I'm never doing that, I can't do these movements. Like, if there was anything that you could tell somebody that is listening that might be feeling like that, what would it be?
Well, the first thing I would tell them is and I don't want to put, I don't want to sound like I'm preaching to somebody, but for me, my faith, I had to first admit it. That's the first thing. That is not a cliche. You have to admit to yourself and to God or universe or whatever you believe in, you have this problem.
Yeah.
Whatever your fear behind that problem, just admit it. Yeah. I'm scared of this. I'm scared I'm going to die. I'm scared I'm going to not get better. Admit that stuff. Then try to find someone that can help you. Admit it to another person. Admit it to yourself and then admit it to somebody else. And that's what I did with my trainer. I was scared to death to try anything, any type of physical movement, anything, because it was like, I'm too big, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm in a lot of pain. It was, okay, that's fine. We're not going to throw you in head first.
Yeah.
we can gradually build you up to this. And then just one day at a time, one step at a time. It is not going to, you can't rush into any physical activity, whether it's CrossFit, the gym, anything. We all know that. You have to take it in steps. And that's what I had to do. I had to take gradual steps, but I had to stay consistent, and I had to constantly tell myself, I'm not going to die. It's not going to kill me. But if I keep doing this, if I keep lying to myself saying I don't have this problem or I'm not scared of something, I'm going to eat myself to my grave.
Yeah.
Period. Make the investment in yourself, because that's the biggest investment. That's the most worthwhile investment that you can make, is in you. However you go about that, I had to believe enough in myself that I can overcome these problems and it's not going to kill me. There's nothing new under the sun. There's somebody out there that, it's a unfortunate fact, but it's true. They have it way worse than what I ever had it.
Yeah.
But for me, my rock bottom, I hit it. Now I've hit my rock bottom. Where else am I going to go? For me, I need to go up. If I can get up, if I can look up, I can get up. That's a phrase somebody told me once. Can you look up? Yeah, then you can get up. So what I would say to anybody, just take it in steps. Don't be afraid. I mean, it is scary, but just tell yourself every day that you are worth it. It's not a mistake. It can be fixed. Every problem can be fixed, whether it's your health, mentality, all that. It can be fixed. Just surround yourself with like-minded people that that can help you. In this physical sense, that's where I was fortunate that I got connected with the right people that said, like they said, they took it on as a personal challenge for them to say, you know what, I see you.
Yeah.
I know what you want to do.
Yeah.
You believe it. Do you believe it? I say, yeah. Then we can fix it. Now I've had setbacks. I'm not saying I haven't. There was a time.
So you're human?
Huh?
You're human?
I'm
okay,
human.
all right.
Yes.
Good,
yeah.
Good. Just make sure.
There was a time that I didn't come here for about 8 months. That was on my own. And then one day I just decided that I wanted to change it. Are we okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. I wanted to change it. And so again, when I just worked through it, I got through I got myself back together, and I put my faith, ahead of me. And then I just said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. And this time I'm going to win. And so that's why from the time I decided to talk to my doctor about weight loss surgery to save my life, not to try to look good or anything, to save my very life and do everything I needed to do to be successful at that. And then I knew, like I said, this place was still here, and that's what I did. So to anybody who's going through whatever, just take it in steps. Talk to somebody, but just know that you're okay. You can be okay. I'm okay. That's what I tell myself every day. I'm okay. Even in the little setbacks that I may have, I'm okay. That can be fixed. It's not going to kill you. It's just not. This will kill you if you let it, along with everything else, that if you, let food and everything get to you, but this can kill you more than anything. So just believe in yourself. I believed in myself, and I'm grateful every day that I can sit here, I can do this podcast, I can tell somebody, I don't know if this is going to help anybody. It's helping me for sure. Just talking about it, just reminding myself of where I've come from, where I am now, and where I can possibly go.
That's good. So good. What was, there's so much power in like, and like you were saying, like, yes, admitting it, like, I do have an issue right now. There's power in that, and there's a little freedom in that. But that moment when you let somebody in on that with you, what was that like? Because I think that this is where so many people get caught up, and they might have like, yes, I've realized that like I got something I got to work on right now. I've got an issue right now, and that could be health, that could be spiritual, that could be mentally. Like we can correlate this to so many different things. But what was that moment for you like? In the sense of like letting somebody else in on that, because like I feel like we're such prideful humans, and like at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. Is like, yeah, I realize I have this issue, I have this problem, but it's like I don't want somebody else to know that I have this problem, and I don't want somebody else. What are they gonna think? You know?
Yeah.
Like, what is this person gonna think of me?
Yep.
But there's so much freedom, like once you do like share somebody with that, or share with somebody about that, and it's like, has there been a bad experience at some point in somebody's life when they probably shared it with the wrong person? Yeah, 100%, and that sucks, because it's like that probably made them pull back in to be like, hey, I don't want to ever do this again.
Yeah.
But I know you were sharing before we even started the camera going of just like how one of your first experiences with CrossFit, you were like, hey, this isn't even something that I just had a bad experience. But it's like, you didn't just let that one bad experience keep you from trying it again.
Right.
And I think we can do a whole nother thing on that too. But it's like, letting the right person in with our deepest, darkest stuff can really help us make that actual decision and help actually keep us accountable. So what was that moment like for you in being able to share that with somebody else? And like, was there freedom once you actually kind of got it off your chest? And like, what did that look like for you?
Well, like everything that you said, scary, trust issues, what are they going to think, what are they going to say, and stuff like that. Luckily for me, I was fortunate, through, fate, there's no, they say God makes no mistakes,
He
doesn't. I've been fortunate enough to just meet and be close to so many good people. But Bethany, my first coach, and then Mike were the two that I trusted the most, because at first, because we did this.
Yeah.
Before we even picked up a barbell or did anything, I want to talk.
So good.
I want to get to know you. What is it, And we talked, I think me and Bethany talked we went out for coffee. And we ended up being in there for hours, and we just had this conversation, and she was like sharing her story. And it's like, damn, again, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're entertaining. That person's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've been there. Mike, same thing. We talked in the office before we started anything. He said, I want to know about you. What is it? I just want to know about you. He said, not the physical stuff, not all that kind of stuff. He said, I want to know about you. Because from there, then I'll know where we're going to go from here. Same thing. He dealt with addiction. He dealt with things like that. He was like, yeah, maybe not food, but I had this. And it was just like, wow. But being able to get that off your chest, and just like, it was just like, whew, man, somebody out there gets me, somebody gets it, It's not about, like you said, aesthetics. It's not about looks or anything like that. I could tell you I could give less than a damn about that. Now, I mean, yes, I do feel better and stuff like that, but it's here. It's still here. And just to be able to talk and get that out and to physically share that with somebody was so relieving that it made everything else just fall into place. I wouldn't say that the physical part was easy because nothing, it wasn't easy. You know, I couldn't roll 500 meters to save my life. You know, it was.
Now you're out here running.
Yeah, yeah. That before the C2 bikes, I was doing CrossFit when it was just the assault bikes. Ooh. It was like,
bad day.
Yikes, you know, or anything like that. It was just like, yeah, physically that was hard, but still being able to share that and be open about my history, about my past, you know, and everything that led to me being where I was physically, that was just so relieving. So it made everything else just that much more, you know, easier. I can form that bond, and you have to have trust.
100%.
If I didn't trust, you know, if I didn't feel like I could trust people here at Rife, I wouldn't have come here.
Yeah.
You know, that's
for sure.
You know, you're putting, this is somebody's life that's at stake.
Yeah.
You know, very life. It's for some people it's a matter of life or death, and that's the way. I don't want to say that I was there, but I got there. It became that. So now, again, being able to talk and share, even sharing this is just like, it's that reminder that, you know, sometimes you just got to sit down and talk it out and let the chips fall where they may. But yeah, building that trust and building that was such a relief that, yeah. And that's what kept me going, because I knew people would have my back. Now, yes, there are those people that want to see you fail. Yes, sharing the wrong information with the wrong people. You know, it's not the wrong information for you, it's the wrong information for them to know.
Yeah, you're right.
But
yeah, and it's like you're saying earlier, like who cares? You know, like there's always going to be those people. We're not worried about them.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know. That thought is just really kind of weighing on me right now. Just how easy it is, and like you're saying, there is nothing new under the sun, right? And it's like, but I believe that's like the lies that we tell ourselves, and going back to that, like just keeping it to ourselves and forcing us into a place of isolation where it can only get worse.
Yeah. Because
when you're in isolation or not in community, it's like that's when the mind is, that's when it gets going the hardest and the darkest, you know. And I think that would be, I know you shared your story with that, and I'm so grateful for that. And that would be my encouragement to whoever's listening to this, is like, find somebody, you know. And it's like I said, it doesn't have to be some random person that's in the back of the corner of the gym, but it's like, just start building relationships with people, sit down and have coffee with people. And like, once you do feel like you know this person well enough to be able to like share it with them, it's like, obviously, like all of our coaches are going to be like that. And it's like, that's why we do what we do, is like for these people, you know. It's like for these moments, for these stories. But it's like that isolation and that thought of like, oh, well, nobody else has gone what I've gone through.
right.
That's the biggest and the hardest piece for people, because they truly believe it's like, and I've been there, like I have my own demons and my own struggles and stuff with life, and that's where I've personally found the most freedom too, is like just finding those people that are the closest to me and being able to like share it with them, so that way you're not walking through it alone.
Right.
You know? So it's just the power
Yeah.
the power of community is so real.
And Cassidy knows my story.
Yeah.
I've sat in that
Yeah.
very office and told him my
Yeah.
story about, you know, this journey, and he knows, you know, I think out of everybody, and I think you and I have kind of gotten
Yeah.
there now, but I can honestly say the person who probably knows my story the most was Cassidy.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Fern knows it, and then I would say Jake and Jared. And then as we've gotten to know each
Yeah.
other, you know, and now you probably know more about me now,
Yeah.
which is great. I mean, I again, I thank you for asking me to do this,
Yeah.
because again, it's just like, whew,
Right.
you know, wow. Just even reliving the story and how I got into CrossFit and what it's done for me and what it's done for my life. I don't think a lot of people understand this, is that coaches can actually, you know, directly or indirectly can change the course for a lot of people.
Yeah, 100%. And that's like our, obviously it's like a lot of people are not going to know this, but this is like our, I don't want to necessarily say mission statement. So forgive me for not having that part memorized, what it's called, but it's like the coach is the single most important factor in an athlete's life. Like not in like maybe necessary, and maybe it is like in their lives outside of the gym, but it's like you're saying, it's like, yes, we're coaching and we're training people. And honestly, this is just so convicting to me and such a good reminder to me of like, just reminding me of like why I'm doing what I'm doing,
Right.
you know? And it's like, yeah, can somebody squat a little bit deeper and push their knees out a little bit more? Yeah, they can, but it's like, who cares at the end of the day? Like, it's not what matters, you know? And it's like the relationships that we build with you or just with our athletes as a whole, like that's what matters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
so.
yeah, this whole experience, like I said, I would tell anybody, again, who's listening, if you're ever in doubt, and I'm going to just put this plug in for CrossFit, I've never done a physical regime that has had not only the physical elements, it's plateau proof, it's all these things, it's always something different, it's always something fresh. We might do the same movements, but the concept is going to be always something different that you're always going to come back and get something different out of it. But what you're going to really get out of this, and what you're really going to get out of it, is just a change of life that is only going to be better for you physically, mentally. And if you can have those two things, build those two things, the rest, you're going to have a few good days. They're going to outweigh the bad days, and you're going to feel good about it.
Yeah.
I always feel good about myself when I finish the workout, whether I'm laying there dying or it was like, oh, that wasn't really that bad today. But it was still something. But still, the most gratifying day of part of my day is coming here.
Yeah.
I get, and I would just tell everybody, just for CrossFit, if you're curious about it, just give it a shot. But if it's not CrossFit, something, whether it's just you want to walk, whether it's you want to ride a bike or whatever, just do it. Just do it.
Start somewhere.
Start somewhere. And just keep going, because I can tell you, I'm here because of this. I'm still physically here because of this whole concept of this physical activity, good people, and my God. That's it. Yeah. And I'm grateful every day. I may not be, the most religious person on the planet, but I do know where I have my belief, and that's where I am. So again, not preaching to anybody. That's just for me, and I know you're a faith-based person. Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm
but
right now.
But just know this: put your faith in something that's bigger than you. And this CrossFit is bigger than all of us. It's bigger than all of us, and it could take you places that you never thought you could go.
That's
I'm
right.
a witness.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
So,
well, thanks for sharing all that.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.
I hope it's what you wanted.
Lots of great thoughts. It's the best.
Oh, thank you.
It's so good. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for listening, for tuning in. We'll be back. Who knows what we'll see or who we'll see next. But as always, drop a like, subscribe if you want to see more of this content. And if you have something specific you want to hear about, let us know in the comments. But we'll catch you later. Thanks, Joy.
Thank you.
Start somewhere.
Every time you touch me, I feel energy. I feel energy. I feel energy.